therapeutic community, I think, would be appropriate here in this case. Training, so that he can do something productive. He's lived an isolated life.
This courtroom is about to deliver one of the most haunting cases we've seen all year. The man standing before Judge Stephanie Boyd, Luis Martinez, isn't here for a single mistake or a moment of anger. He's facing 2 separate felony indictments, both tied to the unthinkable crime of aggravated sexual assault of a child. But here's where it gets complicated. Martinez has pleaded no contest, meaning he's not fighting the charges. But he's also not admitting guilt outright. His fate now lies in the judge's hands. Under a plea agreement that caps his sentence at 15 years, the prosecution says he preyed on vulnerable children who trusted him. The defense argues he's a man shaped by deep trauma, abuse, neglect, and addiction that started at age 10. So the question becomes, how much should a person's past trauma weigh against their crimes?
Is calling 2024 CR 4764 and 2024 CR 4765, State versus Luis Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones.
Bud Rittenhour for the defense.
And are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. In each cause number, you entered a plea. In cause number 2024 CR 4764 to the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child, you entered a plea of no contest. In cause number 2024 CR 4765, you entered a plea of no contest. PSI was ordered. Have both parties reviewed the PSI?
Yes, sir.
We have, and I've reviewed with Mr. Martinez.
Any objections to the PSI from either side?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
Right. And cause number 2024 CR 4764, according to your agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, no applications. The cases are to run concurrent, and you're to comply with Chapter 62. And cause number 2024 CR 4765, according to your plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. Run concurrent with the other case, and you're to register. All right. Are there any witnesses from either side?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Not from the defense, Judge.
All right. The court will hear argument. State.
Yes, Your Honor. The court, which is the state, would like the court to consider the fact that the defendant took advantage of the most vulnerable of victims in our society, not only due to their age, but also to their broken home and their living situation. They put their trust in their defendant when they lived with them, and the state would like the court to consider that this defendant took that trust and violated their bodies for years, which will follow them for the rest of their life. And the defendant's apologies, while welcome, do nothing to alleviate the egregiousness of these offenses. And it's the state's position that the only thing that the victims would want is to see the defendant in prison for the cap of the 15 years, and that is what the state is asking.
Yes.
Your Honor, you've read the PSI.
Mhm.
He expresses here, he has asked me to express his apologies to the victims. He knows he has no words to properly express how sorry he is on this case. He did wrong. He understands that. He understands he's going to get punished. He accepts that as well. His background, as the courts noted, he did not have a great life. He has a high school graduation degree, but he can't read or write. That obviously was never fixed. The court will recall that he suffered significant abuse, physical, mental, and sexual, from his stepfather from age 10.
Mhm.
Was forced to watch his sister get raped. Never got any help for that. He suffers serious mental issues, panic disorder, anxiety disorder, paranoia, bipolar, sex abuse, substance abuse since 13, when his father would beat him if he didn't drink. That's not an excuse, but that is somewhat of an explanation for where he is. He has obviously been in jail for a while, thought about this. He does want to learn to read and write, for this. Therapeutic community, I think, would be appropriate here in this case. Training, so that he can do something productive. He's lived an isolated life. He needs to learn to socialize better. There are some things that he thinks he can do in TDC. Although that is punishment, he understands that. All we're asking, Judge, is a fair and just punishment within the range.
All right. So I still, it always amazes me that people just trust their children with anyone and let them sleep in beds with grown men when they're children. And I guess people don't bathe their children, their own children anymore, or have conversations with their children to find out what's going on in their household. So I want you to know, Mr. Martinez, I understand what your counsel is saying. I've internalized what he's saying. And I understand that some people have worse childhoods than others. Some people have gone through a lot. But at the same time, at some point in time, your choices become your own choices. And even though you've had this rough childhood and you've witnessed things and you've gone through your trauma, you shouldn't be visiting that trauma upon others, especially children. All right, this is what the court is going to do. And cause number 2024 CR 4765. As previously stated, the court has found you guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit.
That moment right there, that's classic Judge Boyd. She acknowledges his pain, but she draws a hard line. Your trauma doesn't give you the right to create new victims. It's a moral crossroads we see often in her courtroom, empathy without absolution. From a legal standpoint, the court must still honor the plea deal. 15 years is the maximum cap agreed upon, and because the cases run concurrent, he'll serve them simultaneously. But emotionally? That's the weight of 2 childhoods destroyed, and a lifetime of guilt he can't appeal away. What do you think? Viewers, should childhood abuse ever factor into sentencing? Or is justice simply about the choices we make as adults?
For any time served, there's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 4764. There's to be no contact with the complainants or the complainant's family. And there's to be Chapter 62 registration. And cause number 2024 CR 4764. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 15 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 4765. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance. And there's to be no contact with the complainant or the complainant's family. And each of the cause numbers, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? And I'm sorry, counsel, in each case to deal with his trauma, I recommend the therapeutic community. They may not accept him due to the nature of the charge, but he's going to request it as well. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because these are plea bargain agreements, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and I want to tell you, one of the reasons why I followed your plea bargain agreement was because of your past trauma. But your past trauma does not excuse you. You understand? All right, good luck to you. What's going to end up happening? My understanding, there's victim impact statement. I always tell people, internalize what people are saying. Sometimes people are angry. You know, that's the way they feel. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll step over to the side. Deputy Laura, we have victim impact.
In the end, Judge Boyd sticks to the plea bargain, 15 years in prison, concurrent with 2 years on the second count. She acknowledges Martinez's horrific past but refuses to let it overshadow the devastation he caused. Her message is clear: your past trauma may explain your choices, but it doesn't excuse them. This case reminds us how the justice system tries to balance punishment with understanding, and how even mercy can come wrapped in accountability. If you found this case as intense and thought-provoking as we did, Make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, shocking verdicts, and behind-the-scenes legal insights, because in Judge Boyd's courtroom, every case tells a story, and every story tests justice.